We had 48 hours notice that the province was locking down. So the first big challenge that we had was trying to figure out how to move all of our service delivery to be remote or outreach-based rather than welcoming folks here into the center.
In order to respond to community needs, we shifted a bit and we were doing more kind of essential services. So things like advocacy really amped up, food insecurity issues really amped up, so we addressed those.
We did not reduce service, we did not close service, people did not work from home. We opened service, we furthered service, and we expanded.
Because of COVID, a lot of shelters had to reduce their capacity to make sure everybody was spaced out and everybody was safe.
The biggest change, I think, was when the first lockdown happened and a lot of our mothers were unable to visit their children.
And we knew right away that food and income insecurity were going to be an issue during the pandemic, and it was really going to start widening those gaps that we already saw in our community.
Our civic government, they didn't have the means to sort of quickly change and adapt their programming to meet the new need encompassed with the safety protocols around COVID-19.
One of the things that was really key to the work that we did in the pandemic was we kept being a place for folks to access harm reduction supplies, hygiene supplies, and food.
They were able to come to us and other agencies in the community through COVID over the last year and get those things at the door in a really safe way without exposing themselves to COVID.
We're the bridge between the person on the street and the ability to get some basic fundamental needs met.
Able to come together and form committees that responded to community need, and that allowed us to share resources.
Making sure some agencies were doing some things, other agencies were doing other things, so a lot of figuring out who is doing what and how to switch that up and have everybody providing something for community.
One of the things I don't think the public is aware of is how closely knit the social service providers are in this community. It's beautiful to have sister agencies understand we don't have to waste a lot of time, talking about things. We can get to action pretty quick.
Well, we all learned to use Zoom very quickly, and we started meeting on a regular basis to share ideas and resources.
We were in one of those meetings, our van had been broken into twice. Tessa from One Just City saw that. She messaged me immediately after and she's like, I bet you I can get you some decals to prevent that from happening. We got the van into the shop. They put on the decals for free, and we got it, and we have had no break-ins since.
We had an amazing partnership with One Just City, who was able to secure a large amount of food that was donated, and they shared that with over a dozen agencies throughout the city, so that's been amazing.
Because of the size of our food bank, we were able to absorb a lot of donations and then distribute them to smaller organizations that don't have good food storage capabilities.
There was a night where our heat kicked out, and so the Salvation Army opened up their space for all of our guests. Main Street Project helped us transport guests over there. Spence Neighborhood Association, they also let us use their van. Yeah, we found everybody a spot to go.
I think also it's been challenging for our staff. They aren't taking breaks. They haven't been at home watching Netflix. They've been here every single day. Without the protection of a vaccine, they put their bodies on the line every day, and they won't give up on their community because they know the needs are great and they're deeply committed to the work that we do here.
We're trying to instill a sense of hope and direction in people that feel very often voiceless, unheard, and hopeless, right? And I really don't believe it needs to be that way. I believe it can be, we can be better. We can do better.
And so some of the shifts that we've made should stay. The pandemic was the great revealer. Many of the things that we had been told were just impossible to make happen within 48 hours. So now we know. Change can happen, and there's a heck of a lot more of it that needs to happen on a long-term basis.